Welcome to the Agents of the Roundtable Wiki Community AMA. Every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC, we discuss Secret Network and its applications with guests from all around the network. This is an audio recording of the AMA. We hope you enjoy.
I think Aaron.
Okay.
Is that the start signal when you hit recording, Erdogan?
Not really. I just got it in here. And let's wait
cool.
1 more minute. I'll be back. I'll grab some water and then we can start.
Do your thing. I'm gonna do the same thing. Udit, are you by yourself or do you have anybody else from the team?
There's Amit also from my team, but primarily I'll be speaking.
Hello, everyone.
Is it Amit?
Okay, 30 more seconds.
Yes.
Welcome. And I'm glad you guys are taking the time to tell everybody about what you're building and developing. I guess, are we ready to start?
Yeah, definitely we can start now.
I'll wait until Erdogan went to grab a glass of water and he's been sending messages to get the word out there. But just to start the introduction, welcome all to the Agents of the Roundtable weekly AMA. We're really excited to bring with you one of the leading projects and teams developing value on the Secret Network. Of course, Secret Network, if you're new, is the premium layer 1 privacy smart contract blockchain. It's built in the IBC network and it allows for applications to be built that you cannot fork and copy on any other network. And the team with StakeEasy, they are adding probably some of the most value in all of DeFi for Secret Network by creating a liquid staking derivative. So welcome. Thank you for taking the time, and I won't steal your thunder. I'm here to learn about what you guys have to offer. So tell everybody about what you're building and how it's going to be helping Secret Network and what they can do to support you. Hello.
Did you guys hear Lucas?
Did you hear me? Well, Amit or Udit, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, cool. Were you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, great. So go ahead, take it away, brother, and introduce yourself and let people know what it is that you guys are doing with staking derivatives and StakeEasy.
Yeah, definitely. So, hi everyone. I am Udit from Arufa Research, and on this call we also have Amit from Arufa Research. So we both have been actively doing some tooling for Secret Network. I think starting September we started the work on Solar Framework, which is essentially what Hardhat is doing for the Ethereum network. So we got the grant from Secret Labs for implementing that. And it's currently in a phase that a few of the community members I see are using that. So there's also work going on to further improve it. Starting December, we started the work on StakeEasy because we saw that a few of other proof of stake blockchains have implemented this liquid staking and has been quite useful to many of the community members. So we saw that this thing is not available in secret network yet, and no one else was building that at that time. So we started to build these, and so around this time, around February, we ran a public testnet, which ran for I think around 3 weeks, and a lot of people participated, and we got a lot of feedback from them. We updated our front end, I think, every day, and it's the state of contracts and the front end is a lot different from what it used to be in start of February. So what StakeEasy essentially is a staking derivative or liquid staking solution, which essentially means that when you stake your secret tokens, what you get is that you don't have any control over those secret tokens anymore if you delegate those to a validator. And if you want to redeem those tokens, you have to wait 21 days for them to be transferred to your wallet. So what this does is that either you can stake your secret to a validator or you can provide liquidity to a DEX like Secret Swap or CNS Swap. But if you have liquid staking solution, you can use your secret tokens to do both at the same time. So this can help the network because now that the same token can be used to provide the liquidity and to be used for staking. So you have increased network security and you also have liquidity on DEXs. And it also helps the user because they are able to get staking rewards from the validator and also the liquidity fees from the swap. And yeah, so that's first application of our protocol. A couple of other features we have introduced is that first is the auto compounding of your staking tokens. Currently, you get 24.5% staking rewards. And if you compound those tokens by manually redeeming those rewards, let's say every day, so every day you're doing 2 transactions to compound your rewards. So I think if you compound those, you get roughly around 27.2%. So that we are doing by default. So when you stake through our platform, your tokens are getting auto compounded without any effort from your side. So you're saving from the gas fees, you're saving from the effort you put in to compound those tokens, and also it's getting compounded automatically. And the third thing we are doing is diversification of validators. So what most of users do is that they go to their Kepler wallet. They are shown with a list of validators. There are 70 validators on the secret network. So the top one is the one that has the most secret staked. So most of users, what they do is that they just open the Kepler wallet and stake to one of the first few ones. So what that does is that it kinds of skews the amount of staked secret to a few bunch of validators. So it can lead to security issues. One possible one is that if, let's say, 2 or 3 validators have more than 50% of the tokens, they can take control of the network if they decide to coordinate with each other. So what we do is that we essentially divide the total amount staked into 10 validators into roughly equal amounts. And these 10 validators are chosen based on some parameters that we fetch from on-chain, like uptime and how much amount is delegated, how much is their fees, and so on. So a detailed blog regarding how we choose the validator will also be posted, I think, in a week. Other than that, there's also a feature called dynamic validator set selection, where so if you stake your tokens, you can redelegate them every 21 days to any other validator without waiting for 21 days unbonding to happen. So this can be used to actually have your delegations delegated dynamically. So every 21 days, we again fetch these parameters such as uptime and all this. And if, let's say, the top 10 validators is now different from what it used to be, we just redelegate those tokens to the new ones. So what this helps is that, let's say you stake to validator and it decides to disconnect its services. So you won't know it unless you go to your Kepler wallet and see that, okay, your stake tokens are not generating any rewards, and you can redelegate them immediately. But for that to happen, you have to know that this thing has happened. So this thing is also taken care of by us, and a couple of other features that you can find on our Medium post and our Twitter. I guess, yeah, that's it.
Udit, there's in the chat, they're asking if you could turn your mic up a little bit or speak a little louder. But to break it down, you said that you had experience, you guys were developing similar projects on Ethereum before you got the grant to come to Secret Network. Is that correct?
So we saw that on Ethereum there is a hard hat, but similar product was not on Secret Network, so we built it.
Yes, and to speak to that, to if those people had a hard time hearing, they recognized, which a lot of us have in DeFi, whether you go to Harmony One, Solana, or other proof of stake networks, that that providing liquid staking derivatives does a lot to add value to DeFi of that network and security for those very reasons that people do not have to remove secret or that native token. They can leave it staking to provide security for the network while also using it to add liquidity to DeFi protocols. So that's great. That's an amazing insight, and that's one of the reasons I feel what you guys are developing is one of the most value adding protocols, decentralized applications for secret network when it comes to DeFi. Now, up there with some other great protocols like Button Group and some others. But of course, this is going to allow more liquidity for these other dexes like Secret Swap or Sienna or others. So it's really what you guys are doing is adding value to the IBC network in general. And just to be clear, auto compounding too, that's an amazing utility for taking people's staking rewards and automatically that's another feature you see often in yield farming and other applications so that you guys are providing this. That's just huge. That's huge. It's adding more value. You know, there's always an opportunity cost. So I would say when people use your service, they would not get maybe the airdrops that they normally would get when staking with the validator directly themselves. That would be one of the small takeaways. But I mean I think that's very a drop in the bucket when it comes to all of the services and the value that you're giving back and that you are providing. Staying on top, validator diversification and that dynamic validator selection. So if a validator gets slashed or isn't working, people wouldn't know it unless they check their wallets. And I've had it happen where you find out later and realize, oh man, if I would have known earlier, I could have moved this and I wouldn't be missing out. But you guys take care of that. You stay on top of it. So whichever validators that you go with, that you choose the top validators, you make sure that people's funds are never stagnant and with the validators not working. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's definitely correct. Just for the airdrop part, I want to add that we actually thought of a workaround the airdrop thing. The difference in secret network contracts is that if, let's say, someone mints our token, basically they deposit their secret, they get SE secret, which is essentially SIP20 token. So even we can't see who is having how much SE secret tokens. So if we can't see that, we can't actually directly give users the airdrop amount in the ratio that they stake their secret, right? But there's a workaround that we have found, which won't be the perfect solution, but is somehow a solution where users who are using StakeEasy would somehow get the airdrops. So that one we are detailing out right now, and that will be up, I think, a month after the mainnet launch. So that one will be part of the StakeEasy DAO that we are building. So essentially, what we'll do is that, let's say, some airdrop amount is given to some of the validators that we are staking to. So what we do is that when that amount is ready to be claimed, we claim that and transfer that to the StakeEasy DAO, and all of these things are non-custodial, which means that even we can't access the funds, we can just trigger the admin commands to transfer the amount from the staking contract to the staking DAO, so, which has already been implemented. We just have the access to trigger that and not specify which address to transfer to. And from there, the DAO itself can take care of distributing those airdrops to the user. So that's one thing, yeah.
So you guys have already been thinking about airdrop solution. I would say even if there weren't, that there are a lot of benefits. I'm always about diversification. Of course, none of this is financial advice, it's all educational research information. But I think that the benefits offered on all the other fronts still make it very, very worthwhile option. And so that's beautiful that you guys are already thinking of airdrop workarounds. That's awesome too. Now, I know that Erdemont has a couple questions for you guys, so you want to take it away, brother?
Yeah, I can take it away. Yeah, maybe my first question is, did you guys already have some announcements regarding where we can trade SE secrets when it's available?
So what we have is a community farming event planned for a couple of months after the mainnet launch. So there will be essentially two SNP20 tokens that we'll be releasing. One is the liquid staking token, which is SE Secret. So that paired with Secret token will be listed first. I think possibly SE Secret with S Secret if the DEX only allow SNP20 pairs. And that one will be, I think, live within a couple of months of mainnet launch. So once that is live, users can easily unstake their rewards by swapping these tokens with each other and don't have to wait for 21 days. And the governance token that we have, which is SEasy, that one will be launched, I think, 4 or 5 months after the mainnet launch around July or August.
Yeah, so there is no announcement, I guess, yet that SecretSwap or ShanaSwap will host it, but the idea is to have a liquid pair of S
So
secret
we
with the
are
SE secret.
yes, we are actually in conversation with SecretSwap and CNSwap and even ButtonSwap. So the listing is completely permissionless. So it's just that we have to decide when to list those. So as I mentioned, the community farming event that we have, what happens is that a user can choose to swap their staking rewards that they get with our governance token. And I've detailed out what the ratio will be. And that ratio will be quite lower as compared to what the public listing will be. And the purpose of that is to let the community members be the early adopters and be the early investors in the protocol itself. And also to get this enough secret amount so that we can bootstrap the liquidity pairs. So these are the two reasons we are doing it. And once this is done, then we'll have enough secrets so that we can have the liquidity to bootstrap on SecretSwap, CNSwap, and Button. So these three we'll be doing as soon as we have the liquidity.
Yeah, it's actually really smart. Crowdfund the liquidity you need to bootstrap, or the secret you need to bootstrap the liquidity for your staking derivative token. That's yeah, nice. And then you also answered that it's a SNP20, so we get, besides just having, so you can now stake your secret privately. Because if you stake your secret into the StakeEasy contract, you get private tokens back, which you can use in whatever way or form you'd like.
Yes. Also, I think it was a couple of weeks ago when we added the support too. So before that, what used to happen that users can only deposit their secret tokens, which is native token and not a SNP20. So that can maybe put the process as partially private. So we added the support that user can choose on the interface itself that if they want to deposit the secret or S secret. And on the withdraw itself, they can choose which one to withdraw. So they can choose to privatize the whole process.
Yeah, it's one of the questions I get the most. Why can't I stake as secret, or why can't I pay fees in as secret? And this kinds of wrapping tools, which happen on the back end and the user doesn't see, are really cool. It enables a lot of options for users, which is very good to hear. And then for the token, the governance token you guys are releasing, what will the governance of StakeEasy entail? What kind of things can the community decide on?
Right. So initially, what we are doing is that so the governance token has primarily two utilities. One is to take control of the StakeEasy DAO. So through StakeEasy DAO, they can decide on the mechanics of how StakeEasy behaves. So essentially, in future, what can happen is that the StakeEasy community itself can decide which validators to choose and which validators to not choose for the for staking these tokens. And they can even choose, let's say, to increase the number of validators from 10 to 20. So during our mainnet launch, I think from the mainnet launch to a couple of months, the process is partially manual, which will be handled by the dev team itself. And later on, the control will be shifted to the DAO itself. So the DAO can take full control of how to choose validators and what's the mechanism of choosing the validators, and other few things that can be done in to choose how much fees is being charged. That can be one possibility. And the second utility of the governance token is to share the fees. So the current mechanism we have is that whatever fees is generated from the staking rewards that StakeEasy Treasury gets, half of it will be given to the SEZ holders. So SEZ holders, they can stake to the platform, get XEZ, essentially like what Sushi has been doing. When you deposit your Sushi, you get X Sushi, and which appreciates in value because each day, whatever the transaction, whatever the swap transaction fees is being generated, half of it is used to buy back the Sushi and to give to the stakers. So same mechanism we have for the SEZ stakers.
Yeah, so how big is this fee on the staking derivative? How much is going to the StakeEasy DAO?
So what we do is that we charge fees from the amount of staking rewards that's been generated. So from the rewards, we take 3% of the reward. So it's basically like, let's say if you deposit 100 secret, you get 24 secret annually, roughly, if the current percentage is still applicable further. And from that 25%, 3% of that is taken out. So it's roughly like 0.75% of your total deposit throughout 1 year. So that from that 3%, 1.5% goes to a staker, 1.5% goes to the treasury, and the treasury amount will be used to further improve the ecosystem around StakeEasy, and to maybe community can further decide what to do with the treasury.
Yeah, so I didn't fully hear you. You said 1.5% goes to the treasury and the other 1.5% goes to?
So the other 1.5% goes to the governance token holders. So the governance token, if anyone is holding the governance token, which is SEZ token, they can stake to the platform. And when they stake it, what essentially happens is that from the open market, when we'll have the governance token listed, we'll buy back the amount of SEZ from the open market, and this will be transferred to the DAO itself. So DAO will distribute these each day. So let's say a user deposits their SEZ token that they have, which is the governance token. So this will appreciate in value with respect to how much fees is being generated from the platform. So if, let's say, there's a huge amount of fees being generated because there's a huge amount of secret being staked to the platform, so the fees will be more and the governance token holder will get more fees.
Yeah, seems like the entire system looks back to create values for both the users and the community contributors.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was going to throw another question at you guys. I think we talked about it before the recording, but what I'm kind of nerding out on and excited on your roadmap, and I know that my partner Ryan will look forward to making a video on this with our econ background, is what you guys are bringing to the table with options, with futures derivatives. Is that correct?
So that roadmap, I think, was written in January, start of January. So that time we had a bit different mindset. So currently what we are seeing is that that future and option thing is kind of related to what the staking derivative is, but there are other things that we identified that are more directly related to it, such as yield farming strategies like you see in Yearn and Badger DAO. So I think part of that thing is already what we are doing with StakeEasy. So the next thing we'll be doing once the StakeEasy is live on mainnet is to work on those yield farming strategies. So there could be a yield farming strategy where, let's say, there's a vault. You can the vault can do is like half of it they stake to the platform to get SE secret, and half of it they remains a secret, and these are paired to be provided as liquidity to a swap, and from there some fees is being generated. So the vault will show you how much annual interest you can generate from this, and you can basically have 5 or 4 more such strategies, and users can have the choice of choosing which strategy to choose. So let's say a user comes and they say, okay, I have 100 secret, I want to, let's say, have very less risk, but also I want to increase my yield. And given the risk appetite, they can choose between which strategy to deposit, and that will be completely permissionless and like just one click where you just deposit your secret, and it's the whole mechanism is controlled by the contracts. So that application is kind of like more directly related to it. So the first thing that we'll be implementing is this thing. then later we'll come to the future and options.
Very cool. I mean, everything you're doing already is just a huge value added to Secret Network and the whole DeFi community. I'm very excited about this project. Shucks. Oh, there was a question, Erdogan, you had about the DAO contracts.
Right. So yeah, so the DAO
Yeah,
contract we are currently writing. We see that I think Secret DAO is also there, which can be somehow used. So we are also exploring that possibility. But the DAO itself we'll handle and we'll implement.
Okay.
yeah. So this will come on mainnet launch, I guess, which is still a few months out. So you still have some time to work this out. But I was just interested because, of course, we now have the Shade DAO, which already has some code written and is looking to provide a standard for how to create a certain DAO, but they have their own governance way. Then Secret DAO is coming, but I guess StakeEasy might even be the first fully implemented application layer DAO. So that's why I was interested to see how it was working.
Yeah, so a couple of things I think which will be specific to our platform is how the DAO handles the airdrop distribution. So that thing is what we are primarily concerned about. So we are making sure that either we are implementing it completely, or if we are using some standard, we know completely how it works, so that we can be sure that what is expected to be is working specifically for our use cases. And regarding the airdrops, we have one more product planned in line, which is that in this case, users just come and they deposit their secret, which is automatically staked to a given set of validators. Suppose there's a user who wants to specifically stake to a particular validator, and they also want to get the auto compounding and the privacy feature. So that thing can be implemented by having an interface where you say, okay, here's another bunch of smart contracts. You can specify which validator you want to choose to, and you can also stake your S secret, and you will get the privacy and also the auto compounding. And another thing that can be further done in respect of particularly those users who are primarily concerned about the airdrops is that we can have some sort of a airdrop calendar on the interface of the platform itself. It shows you that, okay, these are 5 or 6 airdrops coming in future, and these are the details that you should know that, okay, first, second, and third validators are the ones that are only going to be having this airdrop. So if you want this airdrop, you just have to delegate to this particular validator. Or you can choose to create your own basket of validators saying that, okay, this is the one I like, I want to stick to this one. So that also you can do. So this is something we have planned a couple of months later.
But this would then be on the user level, I guess. On the protocol level, the SE secret is still fungible, right?
Yes, this won't be part of the liquid staking because, like, for something to be liquid, it needs to hold its value. So if you have a different set of validators, there can be different set of slashing events, so which can lead to essentially different value being staked. So this won't be having the liquid staking solution, but other than that, other features will be there. So this will be specifically for those users who have certain use cases which are not covered by the main core product.
So those will be staking their secret just like they would through Kepler, but then they would do it via your UI.
Yeah. Actually, can you please repeat? I think I didn't get that.
So they are basically just staking secrets. They are not using the liquid staking derivative, so they would get the same reward as if they would do it on Kepler itself, for example.
Yeah, that they're doing, but they can choose to have the auto compounding also, and they will get. So essentially, our end goal in this is that to have users all the information regarding the future airdrops in just one place where it's in research upon and it's more likely to be correct than any other place. Like there are a few calendars and comparison people have made saying that, okay, this airdrop is coming, this airdrop is coming. What we'll try to do is that verify those informations and post it on just one interface. The user don't have to research further on what the airdrops are coming in future.
Yeah, so the application they are using is then not only your UI and the information, but also auto-compounding, which is of course
Yes.
it's happening for the liquid staking derivative, but you can also only have auto-compounding, which is good. It's cool. You can still give access for a user to choose their own validator, but have auto-compounding as well. Similar to auth-C, I guess, which is already in the works for other Cosmos chains as well.
Right. Another application I'm thinking of this one is that there can be a dynamic validator set defined by the that calendar information itself, which can basically, let's say, for the first month, there are a certain set of validators that are getting airdrop for one token. It can stake to those, and when it knows the information of the next month that a certain different set of validator is getting the airdrop for the token too, these tokens can be redelegated to that, and there can be a strategy implemented through smart contracts which can redelegate to different validators based on the upcoming airdrops. So this will be like a one-click taking solution where it's optimized to get the most airdrops without having any users interference or anything.
That's interesting dynamic because there are often different airdrops with different validators. So it's beautiful. It will allow people to choose which airdrops they wish to partake in. This is really cool, Udit and Amit. Thank you very much for what you guys are building as a as a user, as a consumer, as someone who participates in DeFi protocols. I love that you are allowing this to take place on the privacy side of secret networks. That's kind of, I know you've said it, but you know, being able to partake in staking secret right now is all done natively. So for everyone who's staking secret, you're doing it natively, and that's obviously not done on the privacy side. But this application, one of the features that they're building out on StakeEasy, not only does it allow secret network to be more secure by keeping the secret natively locked while people can use stake secret and DeFi protocols. But I got sidetracked. Pardon me. I was going somewhere with that.
Yeah, so there's a question in the chat. Oh, sorry. You want to react? Go ahead.
I was just saying that I can answer that question. So the validator selection for the first couple of months will be doing manually. And after that, the selection mechanism will be open source. And once that is open source, then it will be used to automatically select the validators. And a blog post I'm currently writing explaining the whole process of validator selection, which will be live, I think, in 3-4 days. Users can go through it, understand like how we choose the validators and why we choose them.
So it's trusted first, but trustless after.
Yeah, so because it's like you can choose the validators through the on-chain data itself, but sometimes there are a few key points that are not present on the chain. Like you can't know which validator is having a weaker processor or a faster processor, or like which validator is using some SSD or like hard drive. So like you can't know under pressure which one will perform better. So like which one has the lower risk of slashing. So what we are doing manually is that we see that there are community members who are actively part of the secret community and have been maintaining their validators for a longer time than others. So we are choosing those because we see that those ones are going to be more reliable than other validators. And plus the commission fees is also there.
Yeah, and at a certain point, when the StakeEasy governance token is released, the community can, of course, vote on what the actual validators are and their percentage they are receiving of the liquid staking.
Yes, exactly.
And I guess then it would also be performed trustless. So there's no manual implementation of that, but it's just code-based.
Yeah.
I remember where I was going with it, and I'm just hyped up on the fact that people can participate in staking secret with privacy now. Now, instead of the only way you can benefit from secret staking rewards is by natively staking it, now with these other applications like Cloak and Blackbox, you in essence can have a completely private and secure wallet, and you can still partake in the staking of secret in those rewards, and they auto compound it on that level. So that is something that is also you're bringing to the table, and I'm very excited about this. Thank you.
Yes, and a couple of other features that I haven't yet mentioned are the private voting, and the second one is for the version 2, what we're planning is to allow StakeEasy to be used for other Cosmos chains also, connected through IBC to Secret Network itself. So what this will allow us is to do that anyone who has, let's say, some Juno or some Luna, they can stake those tokens also through IBC, and that process will be, most of it would be private, and they would still get all of these privacy features and the auto compounding and validator diversification. So that one we have planned to be implemented once Secret Network supports the Cosmos V 1.0, because that's the one that allows you to do IBC through smart contracts. And the second one is the private governance, which essentially is that, let's say, if you want to have some governance for a protocol, private, like users can choose to give their vote privately, just have a SNP20 token attached to your DAO or like whatever voting you have. But for the native token itself, let's say for the secret token, for the secret network's governance itself, the voting is done through the secret token, which is a native token and not a SNP20. So users can't give their vote privately; they have to do it publicly. So if you have SC secret, which is essentially the representation of your staked secret, what we will do is that through StakeEasy DAO, we will allow users to give their vote through SC secret, which is essentially SIP20 token. So their vote they can choose to give privately, and then that vote, all of those votes from those users will be combined by the DAO and given to the chain. So on the chain side, which the native tokens. Okay, so let me rephrase. Let's say there are 10 users, and each one is taking 100 secret. So essentially, the DAO has voting power of 1,000 secret. So these 10 users give their vote to the DAO saying that, okay, I choose to give yes or no, and they all participate privately. Now, all of their votes are combined, and the combined votes are sent to the network itself. The network doesn't know which user said no or which user said yes. They just know, okay, 60% of the people said yes, 40% said no. So this thing is also going to be implemented in the version 2, because currently there's no mechanism to have partial voting. So partial voting is essentially saying that, let's say I am a user who has staked 100 secret. I can either choose to say yes using all of those tokens or say no using all of those tokens. I can't say that, okay, for 60 of my secret tokens, I'm saying yes. For 40 of my secret tokens, I'm saying no, which is which has been implemented in some Cosmos chains. Like I think Luna has it, if I'm not wrong, but Secret Network doesn't yet have it. So probably they'll implement that when they'll launch the Cosmos V 1.0 support. So these two things will be part of the version 2 of StakeEasy.
Just to highlight on this, wouldn't it be possible if you have 1,000 secret on the DAO level, which is delegated, I don't know, to 5 validators, to just round it up or round it down, and some validators to vote yes, and some parts of your stake to vote no?
Yeah,
Or is it all allocated to one single DAO, which is one single address?
that's a solution that can be implemented. But what we're thinking is that if we are providing a private governance solution, and there's a possibility of partial voting coming to the network itself in a few months, we don't want to reinvent the cycle to have that thing again implemented. So we are just waiting to have that partial voting feature on the network itself. And also, so this thing won't be limited to just the network voting. This can be further extended to maybe the platform can support private voting for the DeFi protocols itself. Like if anyone is familiar, there's a website called snapshot.org, which basically allows any DeFi protocol on Ethereum chain to have their voting. So that is essentially a very simple and easy to use interface. Anyone can permissionlessly say that, okay, this is our governance token's address, and anyone who holds this token can vote yes or no, and I'll just post a proposal, and whatever the voting is done through this token's address only. So the same easy to use interface can be implemented for the secret network and for the other IBC chains once the V2 is live. What that means is that any DeFi or any protocol on any Cosmos chain can have the options to host a very simple interface where they can say, okay, I want to have all my voting and all my information in one simple interface, and also give the users the option to vote privately. So that's our goal with the private governance itself. So that one we have just left for the V2, and for the V1 we are focusing on other.
Yeah, it's really interesting. There are a lot of possibilities, and of course, some things are a little bit further down the road, but the initial product is coming soon, which is good to hear. And then there was a user in the chat which was questioning about some of the risks, or I guess downsides, of using either an auto-compounding or a liquid staking product. So I was questioning if you could elaborate on one of the downsides that a user has when using the version 1 product.
Yes, so one risk that's always present with the DeFi protocol is the security risk. So from our end, what we have made sure is that the protocol itself is internally audited multiple times. The integration tests that we have written have already, I think it's been 2 months since we are writing those tests, and we are constantly writing more and more tests. We have one particular guy whose work is to just pick up every day and write more tests. And second, we are in conversation with external auditing firms to get our contracts audited as soon as possible. Other than that, once that external audit is completed, we'll release those results, and we'll also open source our whole code. And one more thing I can mention is that our staking contracts are mostly inspired from the staking contracts that were implemented, I think, a few months ago by Secret Labs. Itzik, I think he goes by name Cash Many. So his code is already open sourced. So we have improved that code quite a lot since December and did a lot more tests. So that's one risk. Other risk I can think of is, other than that, there's no added risk here because there's no leverage you're doing. So you can't get liquidated here. And if you choose to commit your SE secret token to a liquidity pair, then you can be exposed to impermanent loss. Those are all the risks I can think on top of my head.
It's good that you mentioned that. And if that's just inherent in DeFi itself. So while the benefit is being able to take your secret and stake it and still be able to use it in liquidity, if you go choose to provide liquidity for certain applications and you lose some to a permanent loss, you will, when you but whatever you may have lose some in impermanent loss, but we did a video on that recently, and even with impermanent loss, you often find that you benefit from other rewards and fees in DeFi. So that's really more of a DeFi risk than anything. But very, very cool. So I think you guys already answered this. Actually, I don't even want to ask that question. I was going to say, well, would people be able to within the DAO vote for validators if there was a large community that wanted to bring a specific validator into the DAO, if there was an element of voting to help bring awareness to that? But I think you kind of already answered that. I'm really excited about this IBC interoperability you mentioned at the end. That's some major alfalfa.
Yeah, so IBC, we've been looking into it for a couple of months now. We see that the most power we can get with the DeFi protocol itself is that if they are able to make the best use of IBC, It's like then only you can say, okay, this thing cannot be implemented on Ethereum. It can only be implemented in Cosmos chains. So we are making sure that we use IBC, because like if we don't use IBC, we won't get privacy to other blockchains. What we essentially want is that to be for the secret network to itself be actually the privacy hub, and so that other token holders can interoperate with secret network and have some real life use cases of doing so. And I see that there are a few liquid staking protocols on other Cosmos chains who have, I think this one possibility you can do is that you create the smart contracts, you deploy on one chain, and if it's working perfectly, you just deploy the same smart contracts to another Cosmos chains, because all of them are supporting CosmWasm. So you get all the features in both of those chains, but these chains are not interacting with each other in any form. And also there's fact that you want interoperability, and there's actually some utility of doing so. So the utility here in doing so is that you get the privacy features for other chains also.
That's huge. That's what everyone's been waiting for, is bringing privacy to these other blockchains, Luna, Juno, Osmosis. So, and as I understand it, by doing this, what you're building out, you're essentially being the privacy, the gateway to bringing these other blockchains into secret network by what you're doing. You're essentially the, where they're going to come. Now, when people do this, are they going to be able to get the same auto compounding on their privately staked Luna or privately staked Juno?
Yes, the same set of feature would still apply to all of these.
So not only would people be able to partake in staking on these other IBC networks privately, but they're also going to be able to receive auto compounding rewards on their privately staked digital asset, IBC assets. So this is really huge what you guys are building out. And I know I didn't get a chance to, the testnet phase is over. There's no way to participate in that anymore. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the testnet is actually live, but the airdrop contest that we hosted, we closed that on 7th of this month. So also regarding that, I want to mention that that one we did, I think, in phases of 3 weeks. We kind of expected around, like, let's say 500 or 600 users at max. So what we decided was we'll only allow 40 users for the first phase, 100 users for the second phase, and third phase will be open to all. And during the third phase, we had a Google form where user can submit their feedback on what issues they faced and what features they want to see. So we got around, I think, 29,000 responses on that. So we initially decided to only choose 20 participants from each of the phases. So in total, 60 participants who will be giving some airdrop for their testnet participation. And that we decided to be chosen on basis of the quality of the feedback that they give us. But seeing that, okay, you can't decide 20 people from 29,000 people, right? So we are now thinking of increasing that amount to around 500 to 1,000 users. And yeah, that's one thing. And another thing is that for the initial 25 days of the mainnet launch, will be only for some whitelisted users. And we have a total of 500 whitelists. So some of those have been selected from the testing phase itself. Some of those have been selected from a few of the Twitter giveaways that we have done.
Very cool.
Sounds good. To give a quick level-headed estimation, by the way, for Lucas and the other enthusiasts regarding IBC smart contract capability and the version 2 of StakeEasy, this will probably be like at least 6 to 8 months out from now on. Sadly, this is really hard to implement on secret network, so it will take some more time before IBC smart contract capability is fully live. But by then, I'm really excited to see all these options to use other chains from the secret network UI and the privacy that we give to you. And then I had a question. I think for a product like this, where you need the token to hold value, basically the SE secret, it will auto compound, and the value is given by the protocol. But in the end, the community or the market can decide to give it a different value. So I was questioning if you guys have any opinions on how this will be arbitraged and potentially have an arbitrage bot or an arbitrage bot inside the DAO in mind to fix this potential liquidity issue.
Yes, so one arbitrage opportunity users will have is that so the ratio of SE secret and secret appreciates in value over time. So when the mainnet will launch, the ratio will be 1:1, meaning that if the ratio is 1:1, that means no staking rewards have been generated. As soon as the staking reward starts to generate, the ratio will go up. That means that one SE secret is worth more in terms of secret as the rewards are generated. Let's say so the staking rewards are 27% after compounding. So we can take a rough estimate of saying that 2 point something percentage will be generated per month. After a month, you will see the ratio go to 1.02 something. So obviously this ratio needs to be maintained on the dexes also. So if the ratio is any different from what is present on the protocol itself, let's say if the value of SE secret is more on the DEX, what they can do is that they can mint SE secret on the protocol and take that to the DEX and swap and get some profit from that. Other way around is also possible, that if SE secret is valued less on a DEX, you can purchase some SE secret from the DEX and send them for the withdrawal on the protocol itself. You have to wait 21 days, but that will be a sure profit if you are able to capture that arbitrage. And yeah, other than that, one more thing I can mention is that this arbitrage can also be done using smart contracts. I think a similar protocol for doing arbitrage, I'm not sure if that's done through smart contracts or not, but there's a protocol called White Whale, which kind of does some sort of arbitrage, and it's tokenized for the Luna users to use. So there can be one such protocol that anyone, if they want to build, they can build it. But obviously, some sort of research has to be done first to see if the feasibility of the product is there or not. Other than that, we also plan to host some sort of grants program and have some RFPs in mind where we'll list those ideas. If anyone has some proposal in mind and has some past developer experience, they can apply and they'll select those, and people can implement those things. And
yeah, it is. It's good that you mentioned this. I think it's important for users to understand how this arbitrage opportunity and the liquidity behind these kinds of derivatives works. And in the end, that is the power of the product. The more liquidity, the more valuable it will be. So let's hope a lot of users will, or a lot of community members will use the StakeEasy product, so that also the SE secret slowly gains more and more value. And I guess we're close to an hour. So I want to ask if anyone from the community has a question for them to speak up, and do that right now. And if not, I have some last topics, or not a topic, but some questions to ask to the hosts.
I have to step out, gentlemen, at this hour, but I really appreciated everything. I'm very excited about this project and what you guys are bringing to the table. Thank you for taking the time and answering my questions. As excited as I am, it is a roadmap, and Erdemann's right. These things take time to roll out, but I'm a big fan of participating and supporting the projects you'd like to see succeed, like the bootstrapping you guys are doing. So anything I can do to continue to support you, I will do so, and I look forward to seeing what you bring to the table. So thank you very much.
thanks a lot, Lucas.
Yeah, so I see no direct questions from the community yet, and also not in the chat. So then I want to quickly end this call, or end this section with saying a big thank you to the guests for coming on. It's very interesting to see what you guys have been doing with StakeEasy. It's good to see that the code will be open source so that other developers can make use of it and build more and more on the network. I'm keen to see how the DAO will evolve and what it will choose to do regarding certain airdrop announcements or validators they'd like to stake with and things like that. I think it's good to give the power to the users of the product. And then I want to thank Lucas. You can find him on YouTube as Wise Beyond Bitcoin. Check his videos out there. He also has a video on StakeEasy and some other products, how to use the network and stuff like that. And then I want to ask one last question, and that is to you guys. Arufa Research is, how can we support you? Where can we find you? And what can the community do to use the products?
Yep. So we have a website, arufaresearch.com, which we are not yet actively maintaining. So it could be a month old. So there you can find more details on our team and on our products. You can go to stakeeasy.finance to know more about StakeEasy, and you can try the testnet by going to testnet.stakeeasy.finance. And we also have a white paper that you can go through. We have also hosted a few contests on our Twitter in the past. I think there's one going on right now that you can check. The first prize is the Mystic Skull NFT, second is 5 secret, third is 3 secret. So you can participate in that. I think there's 20 are still remaining in that. Other than that, there will be a few more contests we'll be hosting every other week. And yeah, you can find our Discord and Twitter, all of those on stakeeasy.finance. So if you have any other further question, please do come to our Discord and ask there. We might be a bit late to respond because like there's mainnet coming in, we are primarily focused on that. But someone from our community will surely answer you.
Yeah, sounds good. We're looking forward to use the project, and in the meantime, we will try to support you using Twitter and the other resources you mentioned. When it's possible to delegate to your own validator, or if there is another way to support you guys directly, then please let us know. And then for now, I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. If you have any questions, then go to the StakeEasy Discord. Their Discord is in the chat, so you can go there. And for the people who will watch this later on YouTube, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening in on the Agents of the Roundtable Community AMA. Follow us on Twitter at secret_AOTRT and every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC in the Secret Network Discord.